body's a revelation. So much left in my imagination. Can't seem to keep my vision. You're so beautiful. Cleanse my soul from pollution. Eat what I keep me hydration. Take me higher than the expectations. You're my motivation. You're so beautiful. I can see your expressions. Find the heavens in your.
Let's see if I can get Trina on here.
Got my blood going, ain't feel nothing, natural this. So clean up and put it down your longing. But in a home, it could put on acid. Don't need a crystal ball to know it all. It be a full room without a woman. Yeah, I'm a king, but I still be my queen. I need a queen that can keep me grounded. Don't need no mirror on the wall to know there's no one without a woman.
Hey Trina. Hey sis, how'd I get in? Hold on, right here. I sent you an invite.
Hey,
Hey, what's up?
that's my song. That's my voice.
I figured it.
How you doing?
Oh, good. I had to bring that Stokely on for you.
Thank you for the Stokely.
Yes. How are you today?
I am good. It was a little journey today. Did laundry, but I managed.
Yeah.
How was your day?
It was the same. It was the same. And I think I had to burn something up. Listen, clear the airwaves. I think that I think it's a part of our bodies, like the trauma's still there, like to know what you're about to talk about, even though you made it through different situations, it's still like, and that's something that people don't know, it's still like traumatic. Like I was real tired. I overslept. That's why I'm a little late. I look crazy. Your body.
You still look beautiful.
Thank you. You look gorgeous, honey. I like your background.
Thank you, baby. Just a petition.
Oh, really? You gotta hook me up. I've been wanting to do a live with you, and so this is cool. I hope that this is not like the first time. I hope we can do this a lot.
I'm looking forward to all the future lives with you. I would love to.
And on IG where
on IG as well.
Where it's more. Well, all right. So I know some people are watching. You know, some people don't click in because they don't want you to see that they're watching. They just kind of scroll, and that's fine too. I want to just introduce, not like a real formal introduction. I'm gonna just tell people that this is Trina, my old liturgical dance teacher from. It used to be Greater Travelers Rest. Then it went to House of Hope. With Pastor, in Atlanta with Pastor Dewey Smith as our pastor. That's the last church I ever joined, so that's the church I'm a part of. I'm just inactive. Don't nobody send this to Pastor. All right. So, but she was my liturgical dance teacher, minister. Not just for me, but for a bunch of us ladies. When I first met her, I remember I auditioned for her, and I was so afraid, and because I've always done flag, worship, and this time I auditioned for a dance role one time, and she's like, "Oh, I see the potential, you got it," and I'm like, But ever since that day, my journey in liturgical dance had changed, and I want to thank you for that. Thank you, lovely. Thank you, gorgeous. You really set a high standard at Greater Travelers Rest, and you and Aisha, and you're not afraid to love on other people. You're not afraid to give to other people, and that's what I love about you. You are very supportive, and at this point, I don't like have a made out list because I like to be authentic in the conversation. I would like to ask you to tell us about yourself. Oh, she's an author too. Let me go. Okay, but you tell us about yourself.
Journey. Thank you. Yes, as Miss Adrienne, my sister Adrienne mentioned, I am Trina. And speaking of journey, I'm gonna just tell you a bit about my journey. I've Educationally, I've always been in the healthcare industry. I do have a master's degree in public health, but I was a respiratory therapist. I did all of that. So the health wise, but as spiritual wise, and Christian wise, my journey in the dance ministry was always my passion. I've always danced in middle school, high school, and sang in the choir as well. But dancing was my passion. But at one point, I did not know that I could dance for the Lord until I got to the church and Greater St. Stephen here in New Orleans, and there was a dance ministry that was being created under the drama ministry at that time. And that's when actually Tyler Perry was part of the church and he was part of the drama ministry. And I've grown so much in that. I had no professional experience. I've never taken professional classes to learn to dance. Of course, it was a natural thing, but for me, but as far as formality and not learning techniques and stuff, it was one of those things I had to learn as I went along. And I educated myself. And that's one of the things a lot of people need to do in any area that they're passionate about, any talent. Just educate yourself, learn your craft and know your craft. So I used to Google and do videos about techniques and how to do this, that, and the other. And so I've grown from that, and I thank God for the ability to be able to here in New Orleans to be an assistant dance director under the leadership of I forget her married name now, but at that time she was Dr. Bowie. I think she's Ewan now. And I worked alongside her, started working at her dancing school here in New Orleans for about 4 years actually. And then Hurricane Katrina came and it made me, my husband at the time and we decided to relocate to Atlanta. And there, Bishop Morton came out there. So I joined out there and I've grown and with the dance ministry there. And I was under someone else's leadership, but as time went on, that leadership transitioned, and I ended up becoming a dance director there in Atlanta. And it was always my thing. And after I think my first year, I decided to do a dance workshop, my very first dance workshop, and it was a success. I praise God for that. And as time went on, I've continued to grow. I continue to educate myself, and while there, I did write my book because I felt that there was so much in me that I needed to share with other individuals, dancers, dance ministries, that I saw that there was a need, and that it basically is ministry. You're meeting a need. I saw there was a need and it needed to be met. And God placed it in my heart and in my spirit to write a book called Anointed to Dance. And there are different aspects of the book as far as choreography, behind the scenes. We make it look easy, when we go out there and it's like, oh, that's nothing. But a lot of people don't know what all it entails, how much time it takes. It consumes you, how much energy, and especially when you're choreographing a piece, you really there are so many different steps and so many different levels when choreographing a dance piece. You have to think of a music, think of a theme. If you're not given a theme, you have to find a music that's appropriate. And when you find the music, you have to ask God for choreographical pieces and something to come together. And all of that takes time. And so I've grown from there, and then after I left I left Changing the Generation and went to Greater Travelers Rest because my husband at the time was a member there, and so I decided to go there with him, and then God blessed me and gave me the opportunity to be the dance director there, and that's where I met beautiful Miss Adrienne Pruitt, and yes, I did see potential in her. I really did. There are some people you say, you might as well join the usher ministry or the choir.
You know what?
No, it wasn't
Praise
like
him.
her.
Praise him.
That wasn't the case with her. And I love working with her. And like I mentioned to her before, you're a joy. You were a joy. You were a pleasure to work with. You were easy to work with. Your spirit was
Thank
very
you.
receptive. You were definitely a minister. You were I saw ministry in you. I saw a minister in you. And so, and even as of today, you're a minister. You have a way of speaking God's truth. You have a way of encouraging people. You have a way of reaching people's spirits. You have a way of reaching people's minds. You have a way of motivating people. And that's what I saw at that time. And look at it, and just to see you grow. That's why I mentioned to you, just to see you grow and to be on the level where you are now, it's just so exciting to me. And it's a blessing to know you. It's a blessing to be your sister, and it's a blessing to continue to stay connected with you. And I look for future endeavors and projects and lives with
Oh
you
yeah,
in the future. I'm looking forward to all of that. So that's me in a
yeah.
nutshell, the dancer slash healthcare worker.
Well, and you know what? We both forgot to mention something,
What's
and
that?
thank you for the compliments.
Of course.
And I definitely see the same for you. Like I said, the way you love people, you move through, like it's who you are. It's not manufactured, right? It's who
Right.
you are, and
Mm-hmm.
you can't change. And when you meet people like yourself, you need to love on them, which we'll get back to because that plays a part in domestic violence, right? Your
Yeah.
empathy, your love, and things
That
like that.
heart, that good
Your
heart.
heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, one thing we forgot to mention, and I don't want to go no further, is you are an actress. Can you tell people about your movie you were in, you and your family?
Yes, actually, I was in a movie as well as a series. I was in Queen and Slim.
Okay.
Um, a friend of mine, I was working for FEMA at the time, and I just was demoved. I was deployed in different places, but I just happened to be home at this particular time, this particular year, 2018, 2019, I believe. And a friend called me, said, "You home?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Well, they looking for dancers." I was like, "Well, who?" And in my mind, I'm thinking female dancers. But as the time went on and I spoken with the agent, his agents, they were looking for couples. And so it worked out whereby and they needed it right away. And she happened to come to a house and share with, let's see, myself, um, my sis, two of my sisters. One of my sisters, she's married, so she already had her couple, her partner, and I got three friends. So there were six of us. So and she came, she auditioned, but before we auditioned, she shared a little background with us about the history of the auditions that's been going on, and she told us that 500 people auditioned for this position, and they didn't want any of them. And we were like, 500? Well, do we have a chance?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and she was sharing with us they're African American women, and they're like the female Spike Lee, the director, which was she was referring to Miss Melina McCusick, Melina McCusick, I think that's her name,
Mm-hmm.
and Lena Waite. That she was referring to them too, and so we auditioned, and it took a while. It took about a week for us to hear back. We were supposed to hear back maybe that weekend, but we didn't. I was like, "Well, I guess we didn't make it, huh?" She said, "No, they're still looking," and we got the call. Well, I got the text saying that we all made it. And it was so weird and exciting at the same time because I'm like three family members and three friends that here, and as well as the guy who called me, he was accepted. They accepted. So it was like fun on the set. So it was downtown New Orleans, and it was like nonstop. Pretty much from we had to go arrive at 9 to go to a holding site to change, fill out paperwork and stuff like that, and rehearsal was at 11, and from 11 on till 6 we were going. There were two songs that we had to learn, which at the audition she introduced one of the songs to us, and then we also had a rehearsal before this particular actual filming, because it was all in one week. That Tuesday we had, that Wednesday we had rehearsal, that Thursday we had to get fitted, and that Friday, this is the week after we auditioned, and that Friday was filming. And so from 11 up until 6 o'clock, it was like nonstop for one song. One
Mm-hmm.
song, maybe five. I wouldn't say nonstop. I take that back. Maybe 5 minute breaks here and there. And one of my shoes kept acting crazy, so I had issues on the set, a little behind the scene things,
Yeah.
and so they had to give me go to the holding site, give me another pair of shoes. So, but it worked out, and then we took a break at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. We had free food. I love
Mm.
food, and it was free for an hour. And then after that, 7 o'clock, we went on back to the filming site, and we stopped at midnight. And this section was for the slow song. So like the
Mm-hmm.
first one was a little kind of like fast song. The second set was a little slow song. And
Mm-hmm.
that we went on from 7 until midnight. It was like our bodies were so tired. And we had what's that, BC powder? We took
Yeah,
BC powder
Lord,
before it got started because we were like, we don't know what to expect. And
y'all
so
didn't take it with Coke, did you? You know, people, black
no,
folks be loving taking some powder with some Coke.
no,
Matter of
we
fact,
didn't
I
do it
need
with
that
Coke.
right now.
I know, right?
That's murder.
And it was a blessing to be in the same room with David Kalua. I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
Oh yes.
And Jody Turner Smith. It was small. It was a small, just think of a like a nightclub, hole in one of those hole in the walls, and we were right in close proximity of the individuals. And our part, they had other dancers, but we were considered the core dancers. We were the dancers that was actually surrounding the main actors. So that's why people were able to kind of like pretty much see me a little more than the other dancers that were there. But yeah, it was so much fun on the set, and it was a wonderful experience, great experience. And I just pray that they, say what happened to those young ladies that was in that movie and Queen and Slim. I want them again for another one, but
Listen, I hope David
yeah.
said, because I got two Davids I like. Come on, somebody.
Hey,
But hey, turn up.
turn up.
But that's an amazing journey that you had and that you are having.
Mm-hmm.
I think like we're gonna definitely hit those spots, come back to it, because it plays a part into everything that we went through. The other day, like 2 days ago, I put up a post about what I was doing, writing my book, writing my journal, creating my first app for domestic violence, right? And I knew the hate was going to happen, and that's normal, that's fine. But immediately, it wasn't even 2 to 5 minutes when I put it up, I had my stalker call my phone, a number that they're not supposed to have. This is 20, 30 phones later. That's how many phones I went through domestic violence, just constantly changing phones. This person, I haven't talked to them in 5 years, but to immediately make a post about what I'm doing and have somebody call, let me know that somebody is feeding my information, because my stuff is private. Now, I say that to say, I posted it, you saw it, and then you, on my IG, you said, oh man, I posted the old thing because a memory came up that same day and I didn't know it. Look how synchronicity works and how God works. Because after I made that post, it was a random post my mentor encouraged me to do. My ex calls me, harasses me, and then later on, Facebook sends me a memory that, hey, today is the day you got a divorce. Remember that.
Wow.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
okay. Today is the day that I left and got a new life, right? Officially, right? So, and then when you saw that, and in my Facebook memory, it said, catch me on my live tonight. And I think you thought I was doing the live. When you saw that on IG and you said, well, I want to be on the live, I want to talk to you, what feelings, what things came to your mind that you wanted to talk about that made you say, hey, I wanted to be on that live? What did it do for you to see
What
that?
it did for me, I felt that you needed a listening ear, as well as you getting that out. I really believe that by you sharing your experience and me sharing some of mine can really help somebody. Because there's somebody out there who needs to hear your story. You are a living testimony of all that you're going through, all that you have gone through, and prayerfully it's going to be ceased, the negativity part. And you're going, and with your future endeavors and future blessings that are coming your way, the higher the level, the greater the devil, that situation. So that what came to me, into my spirit. It's like, you really need to talk about this on your platform, and I want to be a part of helping somebody, because it's always in my heart to help somebody along the way. Even though, like you said, they may not chime in, but they might be watching on their feed. So you just never know who you're gonna bless and who you're gonna help. Somebody needs that. And so that's what was going on in my mind. I was like, this is necessary. This is needed. So yes. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Well, thank you.